right, man. So apparently the rumor is that Errol Spence and Sebastian Fundora could go down in October. Okay. Um. Then Errol Spence turned around and said that he may retire. But thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. The subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance, get notifications. We go live or drop video. So he said on social media, it might be the last time you see him, but let's talk about the situation he got going on with a possible Errol Spence fight. Now, apparently they saying it's supposed to be on Prime Video. Now it's conflicting reports saying that Prime Video could be his last show with Tank and Frank Martin if they don't find an investor. So we'll find out what happened. Honestly, I like Fundora in the fight. This is what they set up the whole time. So for the most part, Bud and Mattermoff might be for the full title. Now, remember, they were saying Sebastian Fundora wasn't going to be able to be back into the ring until November. Now, here you go, Michael Benson. Sebastian Fundora versus Errol Spence is reportedly now agreed for Fundora's WBC welterweight world title in October, potentially at AT&T Stadium in Texas, Arlington, according to Mike Carpenter. Now, at the end of the day, then that means Bud and Mattermoff is going to be a unification bout, it look like, because if Fundora refused to fight Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford his next fight, he getting stripped. And Mattermoff, hopefully I'm saying his name right, and Terrence Crawford, which is not no foregone conclusion that Crawford going to win, they'll be fighting for unification since Fundora has, no wants or, he don't want to fight Bud. So now that's why they fighting for the WBC. Now, at the end of the day, I maintained that I felt that Fundora was going to win this fight, and I could be wrong. I just don't see how Errol Spence is going to get away from that stick pause. You know what I'm saying? And that 1-2. Now, Fundora can fall in and give up his height and get into a boxing fight with Errol Spence. But the thing about it is, I think Fundora is the fresher fighter. I think Fundora punches flow a little bit better. I think he's smoother, a little bit snappier, a little bit faster. But if Errol Spence punches, he turned his punches over the right, he make weight the right way, he could knock out Fundora if he give up his height. Now, Fundora fight behind his height and his reach and his speed, as he did with Tim Tszyu, he'll win. Now, people say, well, Tim Tszyu was tagging him with a left hook, before the cut. And that's true, but Errol Spence don't have a left hook like Tim Tszyu. That's what I'm telling y'all, styles make fights. He don't have a left hook like Tim Tszyu. Now, if he find a left hook like Tim Tszyu in the camp, then, hey, man, Fundora may very well be in trouble, but he don't get his head off the line good enough, in my opinion, to fuck with Tim Tszyu. I mean, to mess with Sebastian Fundora, unless Fundora just fall in and give up his height and get caught. So, even when they're on the inside, I think he going to be in some trouble. Now, before I finish my synopsis on that, now, he said this might be the last time you see me. Now, I don't know if he talking about for the Fundora fight. Then that would kind of give validity. If that's what he mean, it's the last time you see me for the Fundora fight, then that'll give validity when I'm saying that he probably not going to win. He probably forced into this fight. He don't think he gonna win, or maybe he just basically saying, look, I ain't fighting no more because the dividends ain't right. That might be what it is. The ends ain't right. If you don't know what the dividends is, the ends 90 slang for money. So if the money ain't right, he's saying he using that as the leverage to get more money out of Al, and the promoters rightfully so. Do what you got to do to get your bag. I ain't tripping, and I understand. So I don't know which way he planned it. But let's assume he planned it to get more money to fight Fundora. Really, that's not a big fight. Nobody calling for that fight. That ain't no pay-per-view fight. I think on paper it's a really good fight, but Fundora really ain't been groomed to be that guy. And Errol Spence coming off a loss, and people going to be intrigued to see what he look like versus 6'6" Sebastian Fundora for sure. But is people willing to go in their pocket to pay for it? 20 million people stream Usyk and Fury illegally. According to some rumors or whatever. So, obviously there's an interest still there to watch the fight. It's just, most people cut necessities. If they can find a way to get something for free, they gonna do it. What Tupac say on MC Breed, I gotta get mine. Whether rhyme or crime, ninja, I gotta get mine. And that's real spill. But if it's about, Fundora potentially being this last fight, you don't really want to, manifest that saying this is going to be your last fight. You already sound like you're going to lose. So you never know. Or maybe it's just a way to hype the fight up to get some validity and get people talking about the fight like I'm doing right now. And that could be the case. I don't know. But it's probably more leverage to get more bread. Because money over there funny. And this is a tough fight. I mean, you coming off a loss to Terence Crawford, and over a year later, you hopping in there and you mixing it up with Sebastian Fundora. That ain't no easy test. Errol Spence can't get his head off the line to get away from Sebastian 1-2. And then if he get on the inside, he's not a great inside fighter. And I want to say Fundora is too, but Fundora got a mean uppercut. I just think with the layoffs, and I think styles make fights. I don't think he can get past Sebastian Fundora's 1-2. And then if Fundora is able to close the gap, or Errol close the gap and they get on the inside, I like Fundora there with the short, uppercut and the short accurate punches. I like Fundora by stoppage. I don't think it's a tough fight at all. I don't think Errol Spence is gonna get a right hook in this fight. I don't think Errol gonna be able to get his head off the line. He got eye injuries. His face already breaking down. So longer ago, I think Fundora is going to be a marksman in this fight, and he going to have fun. Now, the messed up thing about it is they said Fundora wouldn't be ready till November. How he fighting in October? We knew wasn't nothing wrong with his nose where he could be out that long. That was hogwash. That was straight hogwash, and we all knew it. And it's unfortunate that they lied like that, and, he'd rather go fight Errol Spence than fight, Bud. But then again, he, in his mind, he was unified champion already. He probably didn't have no reservations on being undisputed anyway. He didn't care about being undisputed. So it didn't matter. He felt like Errol Spence was the big fight. And if, Tim Tszyu and Virgil Ortiz fight, and the winner might get this one. You might get Virgil and Earl. But I just think Sebastian Fundora is a bad matchup for a guy coming off a layoff, for a guy who have face problems, for a guy that can't get his head off the line to move his head, a guy who don't got a hook. Really, it's going to be Fundora just giving up his height. And Errol Spence landing a straight left hand right on his jaw and breaking him down that way. But I think, if he closes the gap, get on the inside, he going to get outgunned. I think on the outside, he going to have a problem closing that distance, getting past that height and that reach and that speed. I just think it's a real bad matchup, and I could be 100% wrong. I'm not a fan of neither one of them, so I'm just, what Biggie say, y'all, I call him how I see him. G, you didn't just sound like me. I'm just calling him how I see him, how I see it. Errol Spence don't have an advantage on the outside. Errol Spence don't have an advantage on the inside. I think this would be his last fight. I think Fundora is going to break him down and knock him out in the championship rounds. Who the trainer? People saying he looking a little bit heavy. He's talking about this the last time you may see me. Even if that's a leverage deal to get more money, you don't really want to speak retirement into existence until you're ready to retire. Once you can manifest shit like that. You really can. You can manifest it. So, people need to understand that. How people say, I'm ready to, go to the upper room. I don't want to be here no more. Don't manifest that. Because, one day, like my mom said, you could be fighting, you're going to be, your life could be in jeopardy, and now you're fighting for a life that you asked to be taken. You got to watch with the words that you speak. The tongue is powerful. That old sticks and stones can break my bones and words should never hurt me. You can speak shit into existence. It ain't like, oh, I want $1 million. And they come, nah. Sometimes you speak, things to come into your life. So, at the end of the day, in the back of your mind, you feel like, man, I don't want to do this no more. Or physically, I'm breaking down. See, if you feel that way, just go ahead and bow out. Don't say after the fight, I'm going to give my last bag and, come on. You don't want that to creep in your mind until you're 100% ready to go. But with him saying that, it's probably a money dynamic to it. That's what I probably think it is. It's probably about the money. It's probably about the bread. And that's cool. Everybody deserves to be compensated what they deserve to be compensated, because he coming off a long layoff and then he have another surgery or something. I could be wrong about that. But then you got another tough opponent. Fundora ain't no easy lick. Just because of what Mendoza did, don't mean that other fighters can replicate that. But Mendoza's Mendoza. You got to have a hook. And Fundora, to combat that hook, just keep your hands up and keep your chin tucked with your height. But if you throwing 1-2-3s and 1-2s and uppercuts, and then you're not bringing your hand home, your chin flying up, that could be a huge problem. That could be a huge problem. So, but anytime you sit there and you start speaking about retiring or being done and all that, that's dangerous talk in this sport. That's very dangerous talk. Very dangerous talk. Because you can really get hurt in there if your heart ain't in it. You really can. You can get hurt in there if your heart really ain't into sport. It ain't like basketball. Even in football, hockey, high contact sports. If your heart ain't in it, and you ain't got 100% all in, you can end up hurting yourself. So, like I said before, man, it's an interesting matchup. I like Fundora pretty comfortably in the matchup. That's my opinion. I stated my reasons why. Hit the link tree. Find me on Instagram, X, Facebook, Kick, Twitch, Amazon Music, Cash App, Venmo, Google Podcast, or Amazon Podcast. Check out the Box News playlist. Check out the Box Room playlist. Let me know what you girls and guys think in the comment section. But I think Errol Spence just jockeying for position for more money to fight Sebastian Fundora. But let me know what y'all think about the entire video. Appreciate the love and support. One time for the one time. Goodfella TV. Peace.